Harry, you saw the game, 3-1.
Yeah.
Chelsea, first half, Arsenal were smoking,
Yeah.
but the second half, they couldn't score a goal, they had to concede, one. Let's get a reaction about this game.
Well, I was quite impressed with the first half, if I'm honest. Like, it's a much better reaction, especially going into this game. I was a bit nervous. I was at the away end watching the Man City match, and I just thought, what have I just watched, last week? And I can't describe it. That was the worst performance I've seen for Arsenal all season. I was at Spurs away, absolutely loved it when we done that away day, but I feel like it's a great reaction going into, obviously, that Man City away match. To be honest with you, the stand-up player for me today was Jorginho. I thought he was absolutely unreal in that midfield. He bossed it. Everyone was a bit like, oh, I was in the pub at the Tollington before. They were saying, oh, what's Partey doing out?
Up the Arsenal.
Up the arse. But I thought Jorginho, he bossed it today. And I was glad that Arteta put him in. Everyone's been saying, oh, Arteta's not making the changes. He's a little bit like rigid and he's just stuck with the same lineup. And to see that Trossard and Jorginho come in, I just thought, and Kivior as well at the back. I thought Jorginho was immense today. He was my man of the match today. Obviously, Odegaard getting the 2 goals. You could say Odegaard, but for me, it's Jorginho, 100%.
Of course, looking at our performance, we always get to score goals. Scoring goals is no problem for Arsenal, but we get to conceive. What is the best way for us to have like a good game management at this point?
It's a good question. I think, obviously you see the goal that we conceded with Zinchenko. I feel like Zinchenko, I don't know what it is with that guy. I love him. I've absolutely loved him this season going forward, but defensively he's just not there, and you can see it with Kieran Tierney. When he comes on, he's more of a solid left back. He's a defensive player. It's really hard to tell, mate. I can't really put I can't really put my say towards it. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like we need a bit more strength in centre defence mid. 100%.
Of course, Newcastle next. Do you think we can go to St James Park to get all the 3 points?
Yeah. We ain't Tottenham, mate.
Looking at Newcastle this season, they have been impressive, firing in goals. We have been winning all the matches. So in the last 5 games, that they've been actually getting points. Do you think we can actually get a point from there?
Mate, we'll get 3 points at Newcastle. We ain't Tottenham, do you know what I mean? We are Arsenal. And people need to remember, we are the Arsenal. I know we got absolutely spanked at Man City. I think the nerves got to us, let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? I think when we go Newcastle away, we'll absolutely do them, mate. It'll be 2 or 3-0, I reckon, honestly. You got to remember that Newcastle had a blip just after Christmas where they couldn't score. They had so many draws this season. I reckon we'll do them, man. Do you know what I mean? We're the Arsenal. We'll put the press on. As long as we start off well, we'll win.
Of course, looking at City, Arsenal back on top of the league with 2 points, but City still have 2 games in hand. Do you think City might drop point? Looking how they were, scoring in goals week in, week out, Haaland, doing so well for Man City at this point. Do you think they can drop points? We see them against Fulham, and they almost dropped a point at Fulham, but they're playing West Ham tomorrow. Do you think they can drop points?
I don't think they can drop points, and to be honest, I didn't see them dropping points at Fulham. I think they were quality against Fulham. Great game management. Pep Guardiola is unreal. Man City's team was just relentless. Look at the depth of it. I think for us, I don't really want to look at it. I think it's pressure off us now for once, and I would say we've just got to keep winning our games and keeping the pressure on City and not making it easy for them to have that league title. Because I do think they're going to win a league title at the end of it, but we just got to keep the pressure on and just see what happens. We could win it by 1 point, or I don't think it would be goal difference, but I think we could win it by 1 point maybe. Hopefully, I'd love Arsenal to win it, but we'll see.
Last 2 questions. Should Arsenal win the league? What will be your reaction? And should Arsenal don't get to win the league? What will be your reaction?
To be honest with you, if Arsenal don't win the league, I'm happy with this season. I wanted top 4 this season and maybe an FA Cup or Europa League. Looking at the season as a whole, I'm a little bit gutted that we went out of Europa League early. I think we ended up accidentally in a title race. I mean, I'm on Twitter quite a lot, and I see some guy tweet, and he was like, "Oh, we've accidentally got ourselves in a title race with these league champions, Man City. They're like the dominant team." And I just think we was a little bit unlucky to get in a title race against these guys, But overall, I'd say I'm happy with our season. If we come second and we get Champions League football, because I'd love it back at the Emirates. It's been a few years now, innit? Do you know what I mean?